Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Consciousness Motherfucking Empowerment. Here we talk about consciousness, spiritual laws, and how to reach your fucking dreams. All right, so today I'm gonna talk about the book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, the chapter on casting the burden. Okay, casting the burden. So this chapter is about impressing the subconscious mind. I really can't connect right now why she calls it casting the burden. Got it. Now I got it. But she gives multiple ways on how to impress your subconscious mind. Okay, why is it important? I'll go into it next. But first, ask yourself these two questions. Are you ready to learn and apply? If you are, continue watching. If not, get the fuck out. Number two, because I'm saving you time. It's not going to benefit you. Number two, are you ready to be the highest version of yourself, even if it scares you? Because fear doesn't exist, all right? Fear doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. And we're going to talk about how to remove that today. We're going to talk about how to remove fear today, okay? So now that you've said yes to both of those questions, or if you said no to any of those, then you're out, so peace. But if you're still here, let's get started. Casting the burden, all right? I'm going to share the first part of the chapter because it always is like a good foundational start. She's a great writer, no, honestly. It's not like academic or anything like that, but it's great in a way to teach you, okay? So her heart was in the right place. Quote, when man knows his own powers and the workings of his mind, his great desire is to find an easy and quick way to impress the subconscious with good, for simply an intellectual knowledge of the truth will not bring results, okay? Again, for simply an intellectual knowledge of the truth will not bring results. And that goes to what I was going to say, why the subconscious is important. The subconscious mind is where you get your results and you get your permanent results, okay? Because through the will, you can force some things to happen, but they're not permanent, okay? And they're forceful, okay? That's why the quote, cast the burden. Okay, you cast the burden within. Okay, you cast the burden to the subconscious mind, the universal mind, the superconscious mind. The universal mind or superconscious mind, there, you can call them either or God. You could say God, all right? Just different names we've seen across history and different groups of people giving this powerful mind a name, okay? Everyone gives it a different name. So the reason this quote, cast the burden, is because in divine mind, everything's perfect. It's only in the physical world that things get hard because we see the lack and limitation, and the things have a time period, and there's a lot of force in it. For example, a boulder, right? You want to push a boulder, it's heavy. But let's say if you're in outer space, the law is gone. The law of gravity is gone. You can move it around. It just floats. Same thing in divine mind. You have everything in divine mind, and everything is perfect. And that's why Jesus Christ said this in the Bible. He says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Yoke is a thing you put on an animal, like a horse, the thing that to like kind of move it, to steer it. I forget the exact where it goes, but it's like you put it on an animal so you can guide it. Okay, it's called a yoke. I think the thing that you put on a horse, I think that's what they might call it still, a yoke. But remember, the Bible's old as F. So I had to look at what the fuck is a yoke, So yoke is when you put that thing on the animal's head, farm animal, and then you put it to work. And so that's why he says, my yoke is easy, right? My yoke is easy and my burden is light. So when you give me, Christ within is the subconscious mind. When you give the subconscious mind, the superconscious mind, your burden, your job, your desire, it'll manifest, okay? Easily. So let's talk about a demonstration, right? So this woman was being scared, and this is how you get abundance, okay? You do not be fearful of putting money out ever again, okay? That is the message, okay? So she says this, quote, a woman in urgent need of money made light upon the Christ within, the superconscious, with the statement, quote, I cast this burden on the lack on the Christ within, and I go free to have plenty. Okay, and she demonstrated plenty. Avalanches of supply was the result. Here's a situation. Okay, it's not money, it's just a little situation, right? Something that's giving you anxiety. You say, quote, I cast this burden on the Christ within and I go free. Okay, as you're thinking about that burden. In this story, the second story here, she talks about moving a piano. Okay, there's a woman who wanted to move a piano, so she moves the piano by making that statement, and then somebody calls her and says, "Hey, can I borrow your piano?" She's like, "Yeah, you can get it." So she moves the piano in time to get her new piano because she wanted to like put her old one somewhere else. She didn't have nowhere to put it, so that gave her some time. She didn't have time, so she was worried. All right, now here's a story of resentment. Okay, and she says this about these quotes and these statements. You got to say them over and over again. Okay, sometimes at hours at a time, silently or audibly. Okay. All right. With quietness but determination. She says this quote, the statement should be made over and over and over, sometimes for hours at a time, silently or audibly, with quietness but determination. Okay, so just because then nothing else is like impressing your mind. You're just saying it, saying it, saying it, saying it. Okay. So the story about resentment, right? Here's the quote she said for resentment. This is a friend, a woman who she knew. She doesn't say how she knew her if she was a student or somebody on the street, but she says this is the quote that she said. Quote, I cast this burden of resentment on the Christ within and I go free to be loving, harmonious, and happy. So her subconscious was filled with love and she changed her life, you know. For years she held resentment and she was in a state of torment. You know, when you hold resentment, that's just an ugly feeling, like, ugh. So you send love to them. There's another way, it's just sending love. Say, I send this person love, or see yourself hugging the person. Think of something that you love, and then that same energy, send it to them from your heart chakra to them. That helps too. This statement could be also a good one. I cast this burden. I cast this burden. Blah, 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 blah. I cast this burden of resentment on the Christ within, and I go free to be loving, harmonious, and happy. Okay. Now the darkness before the dawn. This is also a good one because your old beliefs, they rise when you're bringing up your new thought. I like saying that, you know, it's a little voice, the little voice on the end. And sometimes it's just a lot of bad shit just happens. It looks like your demonstration's not happening. You got to show active faith. Okay, active faith, meaning you must see the vision of what you want. All right. Despite the way everything looks. Yeah. And she says that people see clear after a while, after they notice, you know, the change of the quote, the casting the burden, because you become present. You're no longer thinking about what if this happens, what if that happens. You're not worried. You're just in the present. That's why your vision clears. Every time I do that, I'm like, whoa, I have arrived. I say I have arrived because I feel like I'm present, 100% present. So I do that in different ways. I say an affirmation, or I just feel into my body and take some deep breaths and just look at a point somewhere. And everything's just calm. And I say, I have arrived. My vision gets better. Yeah, so active faith is the way you impress the subconscious mind. So she shows a story of a woman who put out her food as like kind of like pretending that her husband's coming because her husband had left her. She did that for over a year, and then finally her husband came back. Okay, of course you gotta do this with asking for the divine plan. Okay, under grace and perfect ways, because you want to get the divine partner, the partner who's meant for you, you know, and now force somebody, all right, to be with you. So these are different ways to impress your subconscious mind. You know, that's active faith. Okay, that's preparing for your good, or digging your ditches. Right? If you ask God for rain, you're gonna dig a ditch because the rain's gonna go in there because you want water. Right? So this is old school shit. This is old school shit. This is from the Bible. This is old school. So when they are digging a ditch, it's because they know that it's gonna rain, even though it's sunny and it's bright. They're like, no, we're gonna dig a ditch because we're gonna get some rain. Do it with faith. That's active faith. Another way to impress your subconscious mind is by dancing and listening to music while you're saying your affirmations. Okay. Another one is make believe. Okay, make believe. Before that, I want to go into seeing things come into your life. When you say, for example, the story here is about a woman who wanted new dishes, brand new set of dishes. Her friend gave her a broken dish. She's like, hey, look, I got a broken dish. What's going on? Like, no, that's twigs. And those are birds. That's you arriving to your destination, a ship, right? Arriving to a land. So take that as signs of your manifestations arriving, and it arrived. Okay, so another one, make believing, okay? So in your mind, seeing beautiful things like riches and, you know, rings and homes and things like that, and just believing that you already have it is going to get you there. Also, it's impressing your subconscious mind. Okay. And spending fearlessly. Here's the key in these stories of money is that people spend fearlessly. In one story, they're talking about a very poor woman who would spend all her money. Just spend all her money and give gifts, spend all her money, and just feel amazing. Okay. She wouldn't resent people who had money either. Okay, so she was free from resentment. She was in a positive vibration, and she married a rich man, and all that stuff that she thought of all constantly manifested. Now, let's take away fear. Okay, let's talk about removing resentment and fear. Okay, we talked about resentment. This is more specifically fear. Okay, so remember this quote that Jesus Christ said. He's kind of like talking shit, like, "Why you being a fucking bitch?" But back in the day, he said, Jesus Christ says, "Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith?" Like, hey man, don't you have faith in God? Why are you being a bitch? You have God with you. God has blessed you with life, with a mind, with the sober mind, with the sane mind. As you are waking up today, let's go, right? Let's fucking go. So you can control this mind. With that sane mind, you can control it. And you can use this quote. Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Right? Or use mine. I forgot what I said. But it's basically what he was saying. And another way, the way Florence says it is walk up to the thing that you fear. Okay? Students ask her, how can I get rid of fear? She'll reply, by walking up to the thing you are afraid of. Okay? When you walk up to it, it goes away. Kind of like with my tat, I was fearful. I'm like, man, I need to get it done right away, ASAP. Okay? So I did it, and I was like, whatever. I don't remember that I have these tats. It's just whatever. But for me, it's just, these are just my vision of abundance. Remind me to have a vision of abundance. Remind me that power, life force is with me. Okay, the lion represents power, and power is the life force. And power is love and beauty and life. Pro-life, basically. Yeah, basically. Pro-life, pro-love, pro-beauty. Okay, with no limits. Not, oh, just gonna love this person. No, like these types of people, you know, it's everybody. You have to love everybody. And now, you gotta choose. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. All right, that's another quote. So just face the fear. She gives a bunch of examples just facing fears. You know, if you fear germs, show up to where there's a lot of germs, and do it with fear, with bravery, with fearlessness. And if you fear somebody, go talk to them, but make sure that you're meet them cheerfully. Be willing to meet them cheerfully, right? If you're scared of people, certain people, and then you'll prove the quote, man is a golden link to the chain of my good, or golden links to the chain of my good. Now here I want to share this about abundance, okay? Quote, many of my students have come out of the bondage of poverty and are now bountifully supplied through losing all fear of letting money go out. The subconscious is impressed with the truth that God is the giver and the gift. Okay, therefore, as one is one with the giver, he is one with the gift. A splendid statement is, I now thank God the giver for God the gift. Okay, that's a good statement. You know, if it doesn't resonate, change it. It doesn't really resonate with me, but I understand this. One is one with the giver. Okay. As one is one with the giver, God, he is one with the gift. When you're in the divine, okay, you are connected with God and you're connected with the gift. So give thanks, okay? Give thanks to God and the gift, because God is the giver and the gift. Therefore, as one is one with the giver, he is one with the gift. And so you say, I now thank God, the giver, for God, the gift. Okay. And this is just a way of operation, a way of operating. So you give money, you spend money, no fear, and just, you know that God is the giver and the gift, okay? You're connected with unlimited source, unlimited supply, because you're connected to God, the creator of all things, you know? So you are funded infinitely and fearlessly, okay? So you do it without fear. Okay, you do it without fear. You'll spend without fear. You spend without fear. You give without fear. Okay. The key is to remove fear. Okay. That is the key. So do things lightly, like in the beginning. And Jesus said, quote, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. In divine mind, in the spirit realm, everything is perfect. There is no toil, there is no labor. It's just there. You are divine. You are a God physically alive. So you are immortal, but you are also a God alive physically. So now, make believe that you have what your desire. Okay, close your eyes, take a deep breath, relax your jaw on your hands and your legs. See yourself with the possession that you want, or the love that you want, the thing that you want. You have it. How do you feel now that you have it? Okay. Take a deep breath and sit in it. Sit in it. How do you feel? I'm going to share something right here that she says about make-believing. Quote, continually making believe impresses the subconscious. If one makes believe he is rich and makes believe he is successful, in due time it will reap. Make believe. These are different ways to impress the subconscious mind. I hope you like this one. If you feel like liking, like it. If you feel like commenting, comment below. If you feel like subscribing, subscribe. Hit the subscribe. Hit the notification button if you feel like getting notifications. And if someone came to mind, share it with them. It may be for them, okay? It may be that bridge that's going to give them that active faith, okay, to keep on moving. I love you. Until next time, peace. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.